degree programs, those are not very much connected to the needs of the country. You tell me any country, they give free degree education, university education. After I completed my degree, I am asking a job from the government. Give me a job.
What do they actually need? What are they looking for their company?
You can't enter into the university. That is not the end of life. Organizations are not just hiring person with certificates. Please don't focus only the exams.
He has come to our program today to discuss education in the 21st century. A blessed day to all of you. Once again, a warm welcome to Talks with Nalaka. As you know by now, the program is directed towards leadership to help you, support you in your journey to become a better leader. As you know, every week we have a special guest whom we have a conversation with, and then we discover different aspects of leadership. So today with me is Mr. Glenn Dimel. A warm welcome to you. A brief introduction about who Mr. Glenn Dimel is. He has 35 years of experience in the development sector. He has also served as a consultant to the UNICEF, senior manager at Save the Children, country director at Room to Read, and also a regional head at Aid at Action. So with vast experience, he has come to our program today to discuss education in the 21st century. What sort of challenges and how we can adapt to better face the challenges in society today. So with a warm welcome, just take a few minutes and give a brief introduction about yourself after moving out of school to the journey up to now. What was the journey?
Yes, I studied at Ananda College, Colombo for my A-levels, and after A-levels I entered the University of Colombo Law Faculty, and after that I started to work with the development sector organizations. And also I got a chance to go to the University of Manchester and studied education and training one time, and then I started working in so many organizations, some of those you mentioned, and on our last 35 years, I really I'm really happy about my contributions and also my achievements with those organizations.
Okay, so as we enter into the program, my first question, what sort of a value did you have for education back at that time when you were studying? I believe you went to university as well. So what sort of a value did you have for education at that time? Can you describe that a bit?
Education has a great value, I mean, for a person to face the challenges of life, education is a must. And also for a person to win his future, education is a must. Education has a great value, but how education contribute towards a person's development, that is something we have to discuss. Now, education doesn't mean the subject knowledge you are getting from a classroom. That is also important, because you have to face examinations. For that you have to study all these subjects. But for you to become a good citizen, or you to develop your personality to face the challenges of life, that is not enough. For that you have to involve with so many other extracurricular activities in that educational environment. If I talk about my life in Ananda College, we had so many organizations for students. I think there were 60 odd organizations. Now, I participated in so many those organizations. I was the debating leader for Ananda College, and I worked for Sinhala Literature Organization, Social Science Organization. All these organizations are very, very important, because through those interactions I got my skills as a leader. I got my skills in communication. I got my skills on decision making. those are very, very important skills I need to face my life. If I didn't get those, I don't think that my personality as Glenn DeMille today I could have achieved. Now, if I started with primary school, I studied at Prince of Wales College, and there also I started Cub Scouting. I was the leader of the Cub Scout group, when I was 8 years, and those trainings really developed me as a person from that time onwards. Therefore, I think even the university, all these activities, politics, what we have in universities, it's help us to develop our leadership and our knowledge about the society, and also our knowledge to live with others, lead others. All these matters when it comes to a person, and all those things together we can call education.
Okay, I think you got a good answer for that. Now, coming back to the 21st century, you spoke about universities and the political activities and all. Today's perception about universities is like it's a waste of time. You don't gain much. If you go to a university, it doesn't matter much. What is your take on this? Is this education actually relevant in the 21st century?
There are two aspects to that question, Nalaka. Now, one of the issues we have in our system is that our educational programs in the universities, degree programs or master's programs, those are not very much connected to the needs of the country. Now, we have to produce people to take part in the development activities of the country or contribute towards the development of the country. Now, we can see that there is a big gap when it comes to the programs, the courses what we have, and also the people or the professional we need for the development of the country. We need for the job market. Now, if you think about job market, we are not producing people for that job market. That is why university students are fighting to get a job, because they can't get the jobs in the market. They are not prepared to do that. In our universities, we have to have, that is a policy decision the government has to take. We have to see what are the real important sectors, and for those sectors the programs has to be designed. And other thing is, we are not producing complete personalities through these universities. Now, we are producing the people who know subjects. I know that sometimes university lecturers using the same note. In my time, that one lecturer used, that note is 14 years old. His predecessor lecturer lectured that, and his predecessor lectured like 14 years. Now, that is only a subject. I am cramming and writing and getting the A grade or a super class degree. But we are not preparing our graduates for the market with necessary skills, like the English language. For the market, job market, English language is a must, and the knowledge on computer. We are not producing those. Now those things have started, but I don't think it's enough. And also the life skills. Now, whether our graduates can make decisions, sound decisions, whether they have critical thinking skills, and whether they have communication skills, effective communication skills, the leadership skills. Now, where they get those skills? At present, I know that some universities started those soft skills development programs, but it is not a inbuilt activity of the university community in the environment. We have to change that. Now, if we change only, we can really produce the people who can contribute towards the development of the country, or who can really meet the needs of the market. I mean, I am always when I speak to graduates, because I am the vice president of the alumni association of Columbia University, and I am always telling that the 4-year period when they spend with the university, they should have a target. What is my target for these 4 years? Okay, number 1, I will do my degree. I will complete all the competencies and all the subjects, and I get through those subjects and I get my degree. And then what else? For these 4 years, I will enhance my knowledge, the practical knowledge on my language, English. These 4 years, I spend time with computers and get my IT skills. I will involve with some other activities, the organizations, and get my skills on leadership. I will improve my skills on communication. And that target or that plan has to be there. Now, if you really reach that plan, you are not facing any problem when you want to get a job. Now, the pathetic situation is, now you know, Nalaka, in this country, we are very lucky, because from grade 1 to university first degree, I am not spending anything and I am getting this education. The people of this country, the poor people of this country, the tea pluckers, fishermen, laborers, those people are paying for me. Their money I am using for my education. And after I complete my degree, none of other countries have this. You tell me any country, they give free degree education, university education? None. Now, after doing this and getting all these facilities, after I completing my degree, I am asking a job from the government. Give me a job. Now, government doesn't have jobs. All departments, all ministries, all full. But I need a job. That means I am asking all again that those people, you pay my salary. I will get a job doing nothing, get a salary. And those innocent people has to pay that salary. I think it is very, very sad, and it is not justice. Therefore, we have to, I am telling, if any university student is watching, please plan your life and you find a job. You market in the marketplace, and market should choose you because you have all the skills necessary for that job. And therefore, that is your responsibility to find a job.
I think a well-rounded answer, and listening to us, all the young people, I believe that you will get some nuggets, some inspiration to go forward and market yourself and get a job that is suitable for your qualifications. Coming back to the 21st century, you have worked in many organizations, and I believe you might be on boards where they recruit people into those companies. So now when people come, youngsters come with their files and their certificates and all, actually what does the interview board or the people on the interview board, the leaders of companies, what do they look for in these young people? What do they actually need? What are they looking for their company? I think if you explain this, it will be a great benefit to all the youngsters who are listening to us.
Actually, Nalaka, I was in those interview panels for so many organizations, because I represent the higher managerial positions. I must tell you, throughout my career, all those interviews, I have never looked the certificates that candidate bringing to the table. Now, all these candidates comes with big files of certificates, and they are very much keen on giving that file to me. Sir, please. And I am always telling, please keep it aside. Because that file doesn't say anything. Can I see a certificate and assess that person? That means I know some PhD certificates also there, PhD candidates. But I assess them not the subject knowledge what they have in those certificates, I mean the certificates what they have. I assess them how they face this interview, how they answer my questions, what kind of analytical skills they have when I put a question to analyze that question and give an answer. How is their interpersonal skills, the communication skills, their gestures, how they behave. Those things are the most important things. I can judge that person, assess that person within few minutes with the questions I pose onto them. Therefore, it's very, very important for us to, when we want to get a job and face the interviews, we have to equip ourselves with the critical skills needed for that organization. Organizations are not just hiring person with certificates. Organizations hire people who can really deliver. To deliver, that person should have the skills what necessary for that organization. And therefore, it's very, very important people to think about what are the real skills and talents I need to perform, because every person has to contribute towards the achievement of that goal of that organization, and they think whether this person can contribute towards that goal. And therefore, it's very important for us to have the skills needed. Those skills are very, very important, and you have to develop those skills when you work or when you study in universities or other institutions. Please concentrate on those skills necessary for you to win the life, for you to face challenges. That's only way you can really achieve your life goals.
Speaking about skills, you're speaking about if you want to win life, move forward in life, if you want companies to hire you, you must have skills. So listen to us are some youngsters, and what would your advice be to them? What are the practical ways that they can develop these skills? What are the practical ways that they can bring these skills into their life and develop in that?
Actually, they should involve with so many activities what we have in the society, just like the organizations what we have. Involved with those organizations. When I was a child, when I was 17, I started my first organization at the 1979 International Children's Year, IYC, International Year of Child. And we together, we are small kids, we started an organization to work for the area. Now, through that organization, we acquire so many skills, analytical skills, surveying skills, and go and meet, even the mayor. We met the mayor that time to solve some of the problems of the children in that area. Now, that knowledge you can't get from a book or from a class. That you have to put yourself into that environment, and then you learn through involving those activities. I encourage you to, I encourage parents also. Please don't focus only the exams. Don't push your children to achieve the exams, the results. That is also needed, but I can tell you that even a person with little certificates or grades, but who has more life skills, confidence is one of the great factors you have to develop. That person go faster than the person has all the certificates but doesn't have confidence or doesn't have skills needed to face challenges. Now that is why parents should really, I am always asking parents to put your child to so many other extracurricular activities, organizations, scouting. Scouting is one of the key areas, key things help me to develop as a leader. And then they learn, you put them into those situations, they learn. You discuss with your children the problems, what they face, how to face problems. Those interactions very, very important, because through them only children learn how to develop their lifestyles, their personality. Those people are going to win their lives. They are going to achieve the maximum in life. Therefore, it's very important for us to put ourselves into those environments.
Correct. The last question for today, and I'm going to throw this question also. Now in society, when we look at the 21st century, we see people like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Mike Zuckerberg, all who don't have degrees or qualifications per se, maybe school dropouts, but they have made it into the highest position in life, in organizations. So many people look at that and say, education is of no value at all. What is your take on that, and how would you explain that?
I already answered, Nalaka. I mean, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, those are the people who really develop those skills through their day-to-day activities. But they have not got the degrees or the competencies in those subjects in degrees or in universities. But they, in life, they have really, you master the skills what they need to win the companies, to win the markets, to win the people. They learn those. But I am not telling that please forget about all these degrees and things and do like what Steve Jobs done. No, you sometimes what they have or the environments they worked in, we can't sometimes find here. Therefore, we also have a balance. We go with formal education as much as we can go. In the meantime, develop the necessary skills what we want to achieve our life's goals. But if you fail in those exams and education in schools, or you can't enter into the university, that is not the end of life. Now please start thinking and please start planning your life. There are so many other options for skill development. We have so many openings in this country. Choose a area and start working on those and develop those skills and get the competencies also and the certification and all. And you develop the skills what needed for you to win the life. Education is to equip persons with skills and knowledge to face life challenges. That is the best education we can have. And therefore, I encourage all of you, now have a plan. You must have a vision for your life, and you must have a plan for your life, and work on that plan and step by step achieve that plan. And if you achieve that plan, the sky is the limit for your life.
Great advice. I believe all the youngsters and listening to us, many of you got many nuggets, especially parents, how to develop your children, how to guide them. I think many things were discussed in this forum. So thank you for joining with us. Thank you, Mr. Glendimel, for coming today and sharing your vast knowledge with us. Once again, we want to meet with you next week again with a different segment of Talks with Nalaka on a different aspect of life and leadership. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day.